Josh Jacobs, True Beast Mode 2.0. I'm loving it.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle on.
Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. This is Eric, and we are live once again this Monday evening. Hello, Dominique. I see you in here. People filing in on the YouTube and the TikTok side. How you guys doing? We're going to cover the full game review of the 40-34 overtime victory against Seattle in Seattle. Big game. That is not a big enough superlative for Josh Jacobs. We're going to get into that as well. Hello, I want to say hello to all of you in TikTok land as well. I see you in there, Sandy B, on the YouTube side. And let's get right to this. Now, if you're new to the program, this is how we normally do it. We have what we call our rundown. This is going to be our categories tonight. And as always, we like to do a question and answer segment. Have you on here. We're going to be having our open mic. If you want to join in on the live chat, you can. There's a link. It's a pinned comment in YouTube. On the TikTok side is the opening comment. You go to that link, you'll be put in like a green room type of area. I will let you in during the question answer segment. You can sound off. You don't have to be on camera, of course, but you do have to have a mic. And we can talk Raider football. I see you in here as well, Israel. So let's get right to it. And of course, we start with you guys, the champions.
I hear everyone say it. Take what they give you. We're going to take what we want.
Now, as you can see, the champion count has been jumping up. We've been improving on that. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, and that's been happening on both sides of the ledger. TikTok, even more so. I do appreciate that, and I want to thank each and every one of you for your support, both live here and if you're watching this on a replay, watching on a replay. And if you're watching on a replay and you're not subscribed or followed, why not do that right now? Hit the like button. It helps out the channel. And like I said, without you, there is no channel. So let's get right to this game review.
The other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
And like we always do, we start on the defensive side of the ball first for the Raiders, and I'm going to go over my 4 keys to the game. The first 2 are on the defensive side of the ball. Let's get to this first one right here. And that's slowing down Kenneth Walker here. And I was not so much concerned about the running game on the ground as much as catching the passes in the flat and the receiving game from the running backs. And I had a goal. I wanted a total of 125, less than 125 combined rushing and receiving yards and no touchdowns. So how do we do with that? Woohoo! Let's see you there. We actually only gave up 92 combined yards. That includes Travis Homer, the backup running back for Seattle. But we did give up 3 touchdowns, 2 to Walker, 1 to Homer. And I'm going to give this a C-. Now, of course, I think we did a pretty good job with that, but I couldn't really give it a C or an above grade because of those 3 touchdowns. In general, we've been doing pretty well against the run for the most part, except when we face a few buzzsaws. But overall, we're doing what we need to do to slow them down. We're still having problems in the flat with that, kind of breaking our back with that, especially in the second half. And we'll get to more of that when we do the overall defensive grade. But I want to get to the second key to the game. And that, of course, is kind of slowing down Geno Smith. Now, if you don't know, Geno Smith's been kind of a journeyman cornerback. He is having a career year coming into this game, 17 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions, very efficient with the ball. And I said what we need to do as far as a goal is to get at least 1 turnover from this guy. And my benchmark of under 50% on third down conversions and no red zone touchdowns because Seattle has had a hard time scoring in the red zone. Now, what we actually had 2 turnovers. One was an interception. Denzel Perryman kind of being in the right place at the right time. It looked like their receivers kind of bumped each other, threw the timing off. But you know what? A pick is a pick, so I'm taking it. And then the other one was a flubbed handoff. I'll give that one on Geno Smith. And Chandler Jones kind of finally doing something. Actually kind of fell on the ball there, got that fumble recovery. We went 3 of 9. They went 3 of 9 on third down conversions. That is, hang on, somebody is trying to go live with me. Not right now, we're doing the game review. If you do want to come with me, come join us here. You can on the pinned comment in YouTube or the initial comment on the TikTok side. There's a link on both sides. We will be going to that after this when we go to the question and answer segment. But getting back to this, we did get 3 of 9, 50% on third down conversions, which is actually good. Red zone touchdowns was 3. We talked about those 3 on the running side. So overall, I'm going to give this grade a B- because I'm skewing a little bit more because we don't get a whole lot of turnovers. So getting 2 in a game is pretty awesome for us as far as the defense. I know it's kind of a low bar, was pretty good as well. So I'm going to get to the overall grade for the defense. Now this is why, okay, I know we gave up 372 total yards, 22 first downs, 34 points. Kind of sounds like a lot, but Seattle's one of the biggest, one of the best teams as far as overall scoring. I think they were averaging about 27 points coming into this game. I know we got 3 sacks, we got the 2 turnovers, but we did give up all those points. I know Max Crosby, as usual, 1.5 sacks, 6 quarterback hits. And I know we got 1.5 sacks from the interior defensive line between Billings and Bilal Nichols. So well done with that. But overall, I'm going to say this is an average overall score for the defense. I think slowing the running game and the front 4 did a pretty good job. I think the secondary looked lost out there at times. Rocky Sin got burnt a number of times, even including that touchdown to Tyler Lockett. So I think overall it's kind of a wash, and I give the defense an overall grade of a C. Now, I'd be remiss without going through this. Now, this happened late in the game. It was tied 34-34. Seattle had the ball. They were trying to drive to at least get a field goal here to probably try to win the game. DK Metcalf on the side over here catching the ball. It was actually ruled not a catch. He did not have control. A lot of people in the internet saying that Seattle, quote unquote, got screwed. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. If you look at this, I don't think the ball hit the ground, but when he is rolling, you can tell he does not have control of the ball. It's kind of moving down. He does not have his hands on it. He has it kind of pinned below his arm and trying to hold it with his torso. It is not in control. He is rolling out of bounds on his butt. That is not a catch. I think that was a good call. I think a lot of people whined about that. And frankly, that wasn't a catch. And besides, I mean, the refs didn't give Josh Jacobs 300 yards, which we'll get to right now.
I hear everyone say it, take what they give you. We're going to take what we want.
I see you in here. How you guys doing? I see you, Raider Wolf. It looks like we have a good connection on here. So we will get to the offensive side of the ball right now. And I want to get to my first key to the game. And of course, that was getting Josh Jacobs going. But when we did our game preview on Friday, Josh Jacobs came up out of nowhere on the injury report, listed as questionable with a calf injury. I was not so sure if he'd even play. I was looking in the running game combined, at least 120 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 8 rushing first downs, because Seattle's run defense is terrible. And of course, this is the total combined: 273 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 13 rushing first downs. Josh Jacobs himself got 229 of those 273. And of course, what am I going to give this? I got to give this an A+. Outstanding. I know Seattle's run defense sucks anyway, but Josh Jacobs showing himself to be an absolute beast out there. I know he's going to be looking for a contract, but still, we're going to talk about that in the question and answer segment. Great job by him. And a little contribution from Amir Abdullah and, of course, Zamir White. But still, he carried the brunt of the load with an injury, and including that overtime, big, huge run at the end, securing the victory. Now, my second key to the game, of course, was Foster Moreau. You know I am not a big fan of Foster Moreau. I was looking for about 75 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown because Seattle is pretty terrible against the tight end as well, giving up about an average of 70 yards to the position. What he actually got was 33 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. I'm going to give this a C-. I'm going to tell you why. One of the interceptions, the second one, bounced right through his hands. He should have caught that ball. There was another blatant drop in the middle of the field that he should have had. And even the touchdown he got was not very impressive. What was impressive was Derek Carr rolling out and putting it right in his breadbasket. I think it was a below average given the whole entirety of his performance, to be honest with you. Again, this is a guy I don't think we can count on in the future, Mr. Two Hands running the ball. And it's kind of showing. Like I said, another drop by him, another flub, creating an interception by him. He was doing the same crap last year when Waller was out. Overall, I got to give the offense had 576 total yards, 27 first downs, 40 points. They were 8 of 14 on third down conversions. You know I want to get over 50%, and they were. Highest I can go here is a B+ because of the 2 turnovers early. I think the team is actually gelling as a team more because the offense sputtered, of course. I give the first interception to Derek Carr. It was an off-target one. He was trying to get to Devontae Adams. Diggs made a great play. Second one I'm going to give to Moreau, but regardless, they started out with 2 early turnovers, and they put the defense in a bad position, one of which was already starting in the red zone. But the defense kind of held up, kind of kept them in the game, kept this from being a blowout, and then the offense got going. So, and of course, I got to mention this guy. This is my thumbnail guy, Mr. 300 here. He had 303 total yards. I got to talk about this guy, It's unbelievable the game this guy had. Broke the Raider record, franchise record for rushing yards, but again, had over 70 yards in the receiving game as well. And again, I can't give it an A because of those 2 turnovers. Can you predict the outcome for the last games? We'll get to that in a minute, and I'm going to talk about my prediction for this game. And of course, good or bad, I always come back because this is what I said on Friday. I said 19-13 loss. I was expecting some rain. I was expecting a lot of rain in this game, and I was not expecting the Seahawks to turn the ball over twice in this game, which they did. I was not expecting Josh Jacobs to play as well as he did. I was thinking if he played at all, it would be in limited fashion, and he just went nuts. So that kind of blew out my prediction. So in a good way, though, because I had Seattle win this game. So anyway, let's get to what I want to talk about, of course. And I want to say hi to you guys. How you guys doing? Let's get to the question and answer segment. I'm seeing your chat, your text in here in the chat room. I also put out a poll in YouTube, a live poll, and I said, do you think the Raiders will re-sign Josh Jacobs in the offseason? And it's 100% so far. It's a yes. I will give my comments when I close the poll on that. I want to get to your comments right now. And I also want to say, let's pop in the chat. The chat is now open if you want to come in. I have the link as the pinned comment in YouTube. On TikTok side, I have it as the initial comment. The links are in there. You go there, you'll be put kind of in a green room. I'll pop you in. You'll be right over here, and you can chat. You don't have to be on camera, but you can get your microphone ready and sound off. So if not, you can also just be in the chat room as well. And we already have a lot of comments. I'm going to get through those right now. And then I have an announcement to make. I'll get through these comments, and then I'll have an announcement to make. Israel says, how you doing, Israel? I see the offense and defense improve as each game goes on. I believe the Raiders' remaining games are all winnable, but not easy. For the most part, I would say so. There's going to be some issues. The Rams have faltered. We have the Chargers next. That should be a revenge game from the week 1. It's in our house, and then we have 4 days later, we go to SoFi and play the Rams, and then 10 days later, we have the Patriots. So those are all winnable games. So definitely, of course, the Chiefs on the last week are going to be a little tough. I think going to Pittsburgh late is going to be tough, especially with TJ Watt back. That's going to be tough, and it's going to be cold and probably snowy. So let's see. Sandy says, hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell, make sure that our bell notifications are set to all so you don't miss any of the notifications. Absolutely. Thank you, Sandy, for putting that in there. Again, especially, like I said before, I get a lot of viewers after the fact watching these videos. These are live streams, but after YouTube puts them out as videos, and I get a lot of views on that based on after the fact. So those people watching right now in a replay, why not subscribe? You'll be notified. Hit that bell notification so you can be here live with us so we can talk and interact, and you can come on live as well. So let's see. Buffering on my end. It looks like the buffering is over. Been having issues up and down with YouTube. Not so much with the TikTok side. It's the YouTube. Speaking of which, I have over 2,000 likes on the TikTok side. I got 5 on the YouTube side. We need to pick that up a little bit on the YouTube side. I do appreciate each and every one of those, guys. Thank you. Let's see. We're fine now, yeah. It happens. It's kind of intermittent. Sandy says, MVP, JJ. The way he's playing right now, maybe, but a lot of times, though, they're going to look at the record, and unless we make a run and get into the playoffs, at least as a wild card, that's probably not going to happen. Let's be honest with that. Raider Wolf says, was watching Monday Night Football right now, and boy, do I miss Ngakoue. Yeah. Yeah, Chandler Jones, still a half a sack. He did get the fumble recovery. $17 million for half a sack and a fumble recovery. Basically, the ball was right next to him. He just fell down on it. I mean, he didn't really do anything. Seattle screwed that up, the handoff. So, let's see. Sandy says, I say give Josh Jacobs money now. We'll see. So, that's my question right now. Will Josh Jacobs be a Raider in 2023? I want you to put it in chat right now. Put a 1 if you think Josh Jacobs is going to be a Raider in 2023. Put 2 if you don't, and why. So I will talk about that right now. Let me get through this. Let me get through the chat here. You guys put your inputs here. I appreciate that, but I have some more information on that as well. Let's see. Oh boy, he wasn't good till the end. Let's see. It's too soon. Raider Wolf says it's too soon. Everybody who gets the bag on this team ends up on the bench. Well, Darren Waller, I've talked about that. I talked about that last season. At the end of the season where he was hurt, and then he comes back at the end because we got a shot at the playoffs and plays. And then in the offseason, he wanted a new contract. He was hurt. He got his new contract, and then we sucked. We played like crap the first 5 games, and then he was hurt again. So maybe if we do make a run, he's going to come back. He's, where there's smoke, there's fire. A lot of people say, no, he's really hurt. All these times, I'm not buying it. I would love to trade this guy while he has some value, to be honest with you. But I know Moreau's not the answer. We're going to have to go elsewhere for that. So let's see. So I do agree with you on that, Raider Wolf. Hunter Renfrow, I'm not going to. I think he's legitimately dinged up. So unless that kind of continues, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, at least for now. JJ had almost more than the defense. Can you predict the outcome for the last games? Raider Wolf, I actually did a schedule preview prediction show before the start of the season. If we're going to modify that, I would probably say right now we're 4-7, right? We got 6 games left, right? 11 games, 17 game season now. I'm going to say 8 or 9 wins most. I don't think we're going to run the table. We'll probably lose 1 or 2. That Pittsburgh game in Pittsburgh worries me. It's going to be cold and dreary. I know if Josh Jacobs is still healthy, that he could be the difference, of course. But they got T.J. Watt back, so when he's back, it seems like that whole defense is totally different. When he's not there, it's an average at best defense. So we can beat the Chargers. Hell yeah, we can beat the Chargers. The Chargers have not looked that good this year, guys. Not looked that good. Herbert, I don't know if people have figured him out or what, but he does not look that good this year. Let's be honest. I know they've had some injuries, of course. 45-year-old Keenan Allen's been hurt again. Some other injuries. So let's see. One from Raider Wolf, one from Sandy, thinking we're going to keep Josh Jacobs. I'll talk about that near the end. I want to get through the rest of these comments. We will beat Psycho Jackal says we'll beat the Chargers, of course. Let me see. Let me pull down if we've got any more. I was there for game one. We almost whooped their ass. Yeah, we had 3 turnovers. Carr had 3 interceptions. That was the difference in the game. Let's be honest. So let's see. Let me see. It's not letting me scroll down. I don't see any more comments. YouTube's being a little weird tonight as usual. So with that said, I'm going to get to my announcement. And where's Waller? Where's Waldo? Where's Waller? He's on IR. So I believe at least 2 more games. So I want to get to my announcement. Okay, so I will be moving. I talked about this. A lot of you regulars, I talked about this a little bit. I will be moving next month. This right here will be probably my last live stream for at least a couple weeks. I'm going to be targeting December 16th as a game preview of the Raiders-Patriots game as my return. Still finish packing, actually move, get settled. You know that anybody who's moved, it's a big hassle and a pain in the butt. So Waller should be back for the Patriot game, and I should be back for the Patriots game as well. Good timing with that, Raider Wolf. Again, I will be kind of on a hiatus. I don't know. See, I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little weird. So my camera's blurring out a little bit. So I will be going on hiatus for a couple weeks. I plan to come back on December 16th. So if anybody wants, that said, if anybody wants to join the chat right here, the link is in the pinned comment in YouTube. It is in the opening comment on TikTok. Click the link. You go into the green room. I'll be looking at that right now. If you want to come in, you don't have to be on camera. Get your mic ready and sound off, Raider Nation. So Sandy B says, been there, moving. Yeah, so I won't be around for a couple weeks. I'm not going to stop doing the channel. I love doing the content. The channel is growing slowly. I've talked about that. I'll get into that a little bit more. Once I get settled in, there will be some changes in the off season though, with the channel. I'll get into more of the detail on that later. But where's Waller? Where's Waller? Put it on both sides. Where's Waller? So, I want to know what you have to say. Any other comments about this game? So we went from 2-7 to 4-7. I did watch the post-game presser. There was some celebration. It was not nearly as crazy as the Denver game. So I was kind of relieved in that. Of course, they gave the game ball to Josh. No kidding. They were excited. This one kind of warrants more of that because it's in Seattle. Let's face it, guys. Seattle was 6-4 coming into this game. We're going to their stadium, loud as hell. I think we dodged a bullet. No rain. It might have been sprinkling at times, but nothing significant. They got that loud-ass crowd there. And frankly, I think we dodged a bullet on that one as far as those factors. And honestly, I don't know how Seattle is even 6-4, now 6-5, to be honest with you. I think they're playing a little over their head, especially Geno Smith. He has not played like this, like ever, anywhere. I remember him with the Jets. He can run and stuff, but ultimately, as far as a game manager and not turning the ball over that much, these are career numbers for him. So That said, I don't think Seattle's going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to kind of come back to earth. I think that division's kind of in flux. It looked very strong last season, and a lot of things happened. The Niners still look strong there. Rams look in disarray. Matt Stafford has been hurt. He was hurt in preseason, throwing shoulder, and he played through it. And a lot of people were saying, well, it's just going to get worse as you go on, and it's showing. And I know they've had some other injuries. Arizona's been kind of wishy-washy. Maybe people have figured out Cliff Kingsbury, and the air raid offense and all that nonsense. We should have won that game. We gave that one away. How about them Broncos? I thought I had the Broncos beating Carolina this week, and they scored 3 points. How pathetic. Russell Wilson, MVP. Oh, sad. That's sad. And they cut Melvin Gordon this week, I think today, and I believe he's on the Chiefs practice squad. I heard he's making his way around the AFC West, I guess. McDummy is ridiculous. Yeah, some of the things he did, he was very conservative in this game. McDaniels, I'm looking at it from this standpoint. You're 3-7. You're on the road against a team that's in playoff position, and you're kicking field goals like 4th and 1. Just go for it. At this point, what do you have to lose, really? I don't understand it. Then on the other side, he'll do an onside kick when you're leading 10-7 early in a game. None of the crap makes sense. That's the problem. 3.3K likes in TikTok. I see 3,100. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. TikTok's a little bit of a weird bird. I'll just say that. It kind of comes and goes. They love my shorts. The live streams are kind of iffy. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. YouTube's a little more consistent when it comes to that. But I do appreciate that. Thank you. Dominique says, yeah, McDummy is still one of the dumbest coaches in the league. He's not a head coach. I will continue to say that. Yeah. and not just that 4th down, both 4th downs, he did basically a toss play. The first one, it probably should have been stopped, but Josh Jacobs kind of willed his way to the first down. The second one, they knew it was coming. I mean, like I said, McDaniels, you're telegraphing the play here. I would have loved to have seen like a fake and maybe a dive or give it to Jakob Johnson or something. We only needed like a yard in that second one. Or it was like 4th and inches. Well, I'll just say it was a yard. It's probably inside of a yard. Why not do the fake and just have give it to Jakob and just power through? He's going to get the first down. You got to keep these guys off balance, And like I said, Seattle didn't get owned over 500 yards because of the wonderful play calling by Josh McDaniels. He had the flea flicker that worked and made Seattle's defense look stupid. But other than that, I'm still not impressed. I'm not impressed with the play calling. It's Josh Jacobs being dynamic. It's Derek Carr finding his rhythm and his accuracy that helped win this game. And of course, Max Crosby, and I was on another YouTuber Spotlight. He likes to do the whole game where he sits and watches. You can't show the game because of the copyright. I was on Darian's and I was on his live stream there, and I said at this point we need Max to make a big play, and he did. Like 3rd down, he had the sack. So our stars are kind of showing out. I do have to say one more thing, though, about this game. I got to give kudos to the offensive line. Once again, only 1 sack given up. I know Nwosu popped Derek Carr. He was out for a play, hit him in the ribs early on. But other than that, pretty clean in the game, especially in the second half. We weren't getting the stupid penalties like the games before. And Colton Miller was back, thank goodness. Illuminor on the right side. Even Alex Bars had a pretty decent game, especially blocking for Jacobs. So I know I've been very critical of Alex Bars, but overall I think he had a pretty good game in this. So quarterback sneak. I don't like quarterback sneaks with Derek Carr. I don't like them. I liked when he scrambles out. Even if he doesn't get the first down, it keeps these guys honest, and he did that a couple times in this game, so that was good. Champ, would you commit long-term to Josh Jacobs? I wanted to bring that up, actually. I was looking at Spot Track, so a lot of people are saying that he probably won't want to sign here, he won't sign here, and if we're going to have to keep him, we're going to have to franchise tag him, which means we get him for 1 year on a franchise tag, and he would be due the average of the top 5 running backs. And that's about 12.5, 13 million as of right now, according to Spot Track. So that might be a way to go with this. It would be nice to try to get him under contract. I'm leery of paying him big money because until this year, he's been regressing as far as his stats go, and he gets injured a lot. And maybe part of this is to get that big payday, and he might pull a Waller. Let's be honest. So. They love your shorts. They love my shorts. No, it's not only fans. It's TikTok. So that's the crazy part. Says Sandy B. Seahawks are not that great of a team, but they were 6-4, and they're playing in a tough division, and they've been kind of playing over their head. Their secondary is awesome. Let's give it up. Let's give it up to them. Diggs is a special talent, just like his brother Stephon. So, but the run defense is terrible. It's been terrible, and they were rightly exploited. And then you'll hear the fans complaining about that forward progress stoppage. That one they probably have a little bit more meat to their complaint than the DK reception, in my opinion. That ball was not secured, and he's rolling out of bounds. But you could probably argue that it wasn't forward progress. His forward progress was stopped, so that's not reviewable. Maybe there might be a little bit more legitimacy in that one. So let's see. Raider Wolf says Seahawks are pretty much the same as the Raiders. I was looking at the stats before the game. I would have to disagree with you on that. They were more efficient. Derek Carr's throwing more interceptions than Geno Smith. Josh Jacobs is running the ball way better than they were. They've had some injuries to Penny and that. Their offensive line was kind of getting owned in this game, especially up the middle. And I talked about that a little bit with Billings and Bilal Nichols. I talked about that in the halftime report. And those guys actually made a pretty big difference in this game, let's be honest. And Geno's a fairly mobile quarterback too. So I think they did a good job with that. I think we have a way better run defense, and our pass defense sucks. And Seattle's the opposite. I think their pass coverage is good, and their run defense sucks. So let's see. It's no wonder why it went to overtime. It went to overtime because Seattle is not that good, and they let the Raiders hang around. I mean, the Raiders were, like I said, 2 early turnovers. If we do that to the Chiefs, we're going to be down 24-7, 24-3 at halftime at least. It's going to be game over. I'm hoping that this team realizes that. It's nice to get a win, but to grow, you have to start playing better football. Let's be honest, and not have to totally rely on Josh Jacobs to win you games. And come on, 300 total yards is huge. Yes, I wouldn't commit long-term to Josh Jacobs. I'm sorry, but franchise tag for sure, says Dominic. I think that's the way to go. I don't know if he'll want to resign. He's playing his ass off right now. He could probably get even more money than the franchise tag, and at least more guaranteed money in a bigger deal somewhere else. So I'm thinking if we don't franchise him, he's not staying. That's my opinion. extend JJ 2 years. I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. Same thing. I'm kind of more on the side of Dominique with that. If we want to franchise him, then, do it. That gives him more incentive to keep playing because he's only going to have 1 year. Josh and Tay are them. Says, eggs, how you doing? I see you in here. Eggs. I call you eggs. SGGSG. I call them eggs. Or her, whatever. Yeah, they're them. And again, it's, we had the turmoil and, Carp calling people out and Devontae calling people out. And it's basically the stars carrying this team right now. If you look at it, you've got Josh Jacobs, of course, Carr, through those 2 picks, I nail him on the first one. The second one, Moreau had his friggin' hands on it. Again, I'm tired of that guy. But he came back. He bounced back and helped us win the game. Of course, Devontae Adams, they were basically playing to shut him down. What did he get, about 70 or 80 yards in the game? Not terrible, but not Devontae numbers. And then Max Crosby, just causing fits. And like I said, he had 1.5 sacks, 6 quarterback hits. Every time they ran to his side of the ball, they weren't getting much of anything over there for the most part. They got to run on the left side, and Seattle didn't get the memo for some reason. So over 4K. It still says 3,100. I'll take your word for it. Thank you for the 4K. Those of you on the TikTok side, of course, if you want to come on, links in the description. Pinned comment in YouTube. It's in the opening comment on TikTok. You go into there. You'll be in the green room. I'll let you in. You can talk. Say what you want to say. Let's see. Looks like the locker room is great. I would say the locker room's better. That's that old saying, winning is the best deodorant, and it's true. It's true. So I know it's Denver and Seattle. I think the Seattle one's much more significant on the road. Remember, Seattle was coming off a bye too, so they had a week off. I think they took this game too lightly, to be honest with you. They saw the Raiders, same old Raiders, circus. They're all in turmoil again. And kind of took us lightly. And they had a chance. I mean, again, 2 turnovers early on. They had a chance to really kind of step on our necks, and they didn't get it done. So Foster Moreau always drops a big pass, but always makes up for it. He didn't make up for it. I know. Somebody in my comments put a comment about Foster Moreau getting that touchdown. No, he ran over there. It was put right in the numbers. I mean, if he drops that, I mean, he shouldn't even be in the NFL. It wasn't like a Dwight Clark catch it 10 feet over his head nonsense. That was an easy one. Derek Carr made the play on that. Okay. Came out, had some pressure in the pocket, rolled out on the run, throwing that ball into the back of the end zone. That was 80-90% Derek Carr, and I'll give Moreau 10% for actually catching the ball and being in the right spot, running over there and catching it right here, literally right here. So back-to-back road wins. Yeah, we weren't doing so well on the road earlier on. Now we got 2, and now we get to go home and face the Chargers. So I like Moreau. I don't. I didn't like him last year when he caused the pick 6 in Miami. Drops the passes. He fumbles the ball. He's so in his head about fumbling that he runs with the ball every time like this now. 2 hands. Every time. All right. We got some bots in here. Find your love in the city. All right. Oh, not my city. We ain't playing that game. Let me see what we got here. Let me. This thing is. YouTube's being very temperamental right now. Thanks for removing that. I was going to remove it. This thing's being very temperamental right now. Yeah, you kind of know when you've arrived when you get the bots coming. You get the bots coming, putting their junk out there. in your chat. Don't click on any of that stuff, by the way. If you don't know, now you know. It's my public service announcement. Raider Wolf says, I didn't like JJ, and this year he broke out. I thought JJ was good. I even talked about it last year. I said when he is healthy, he could very well be a top 5 running back, and a lot of people kind of scoffed at that. That's the kind of talent this guy has. I don't know if he was just kind of Darren Wallering it last year, gold bricking it, or what. I know he gets hurt a lot, doesn't last a whole season, so I'm a little bit worried. We've used him a hell of a lot this year, and he's still ticking, so, knock on wood on that. But when he is healthy and playing, he has this elusiveness. He's not very fast. I'm not going to say he's fast, but he's quick. He's laterally quick. He's got great vision to find the hole. And he's very difficult to stop and slow down, as we saw this week. Buffering. Okay. Hopefully the buffering goes away. We have your back, Raider. Dominique is on my page. Okay. So anyway, again, we usually go about an hour with this. We are at 6:41 p.m. Pacific time here, so got a little bit more time. If you guys want to come on, you can. Again, you want to come on here on Restream. The link's in the description. Come on, I will let you in. You go into the green room. I'll let you right on in. You can come join us and sound off. If not, you can put this in. You can just talk and chat. That's fine by me as well. He's hurt, but he's playing through it. Yeah, and my thing with Josh Jacobs is this: if we sign him to a big contract, are we going to expect to see this in 2023, or is he just really busting his ass to get paid now? So that's a big question, and it's honestly, to me, it's a legitimate question. So again, if you're watching this on a replay, and like I said, I got a lot of people watching these on replays. Why not join us? Why not join us here? And the best way to do that is to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you will be notified, hopefully, of my future live streams. And like I said before, if you just came in, I'm going to be moving. I'm going to be having some stuff going on. So I'm probably going to be taking a little bit of a hiatus on the channel. I plan to come back. My target date is Friday, December 16th. We'll do the game preview against the Patriots. But I will be in the process of moving, and I'll give you more on that when I get to that. I'll have a new studio. I will have some new things. And then at the end of the season, we're going to be doing some significant changes. I'll get into that a little bit more as well. Let's see. So anyway, anybody got any other questions or comments? Again, if you don't want to come on here, that's fine. But if you have any other questions or comments, put them in the chat right now. I gotta take a little drink because it's just water. It's water with some lime. Talking a whole lot. So, hey, John Luna, how you doing out there? I see you in here on the TikTok side. They kind of come and go. It's amazing. And no rhyme or reason, Let's see. I just noticed, speaking on the TikTok side, and it's kind of, let's just say it's unorthodox. I usually put out a little quick short video of the upcoming live streams, and one of them went nuts on there. I got more views on that than probably any of my videos on YouTube. It's kind of crazy, so it's amazing. So never know. I'm kind of tweaking some things. I'm kind of learning a little bit. The platform's a little bit different, of course. People are a little bit different there as far as what they want. So want to see more Zeus. Yeah, this goes back to Josh McDaniels. I know Josh Jacobs. I mean, how do I say this? Josh Jacobs is playing his ass off. Now, you want to say it's for his contract or what? Fine, whatever. 300 total yards, rushing and receiving. It's unbelievable. Let's be here. Okay, let's be honest. But if I'm Josh McDaniels and he came in on the injury report on Friday with a calf injury, unless that was total bullshit, and they just threw that in there to, I mean, they are the Patriots, right? Well, they like to do some sideways things at times, but saying it's legit, why aren't we getting Zamir White more involved? He only had two rushes. I know he had one for like 17, I think. And I think the other one was like 9 or 10 or something like that. So not to say, like I said, Seattle's run defense sucks, but why aren't we integrating him in a little bit more at this point? We're at week 12, for crying out loud. Josh Jacobs is not guaranteed to be here unless they already have it in their mind. He's doing great. We're just going to franchise him. If he doesn't want to sign, screw him. We're going to franchise him. And then he'll probably be pissed off and all this other stuff. And maybe he'll pull a Waller and get hurt. You know, who knows? Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the minds of Josh McDaniels and company, because some of the things are real head scratchers. We moved up to get this guy so the Chargers wouldn't get him, basically. And then they went and got Isaiah Spiller, another big between the tackles kind of bruiser guy. Why aren't we using him more by now? Why aren't we saving Josh Jacobs a little bit more? I don't understand it. You know. Can't wait to see when you have store for us, champ. We'll see you when you get back. I'm getting back to Monday Night Football. All right, Raider Wolf. Appreciate that. We're going to be closing this out pretty soon anyway. I want to thank you guys here. Thank you, Wolf, Dominique, Eggs, Sandy. I know Al's Ghost is usually here. I don't see him here today. And the people on TikTok, I get Daddy Came Back with the Milk comes in here. I enjoy that guy. That's one of my favorite names, if I haven't said it before. But I do appreciate all of you coming out here. So we're going to take a few more comments and we're going to close this one out. If you don't have anything else, I want to wish you guys, of course, a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving weekend. I had a pretty good Thanksgiving weekend myself. Now it's time during the holidays, Christmas and all that. And again, like I said, I'm going to be in the process of moving, and I talked about I had some things going on with some of my cats. You don't see them here. They've had some issues. They're doing better, though. Well on the way to recovery, so that's good news. Let you know. And again, I will be back. I target December 16th, Friday night. Again, we'll do the game preview against those Patriots. I want to see what Josh McDaniels has up his sleeve, kind of the master versus the student. We talked a little bit about that. We did see them in preseason, and it was kind of amazing, honestly. We didn't play any of our starters, and our backups just kind of owned Mac Jones and company. I believe I'm trying to remember, they kept their starters, the Patriots did, for like 4 series until they finally got a field goal out of it, and then they pulled them. And I thought that was kind of amazing. And I thought, wow, not to say that Mac Jones is a world beater, but the starters for the Patriots, and you're stopping them 4 series, give them 3 points. I was thinking, wow, this team, wait until Devontae Adams plays, wait until Max is out there, or Chandler Jones. And I don't know, things kind of fell off early. It looks like things are kind of getting it together. Honestly, I think it's a little too late. They're going to have to basically run the table to get in the playoffs at this point. Beating Pittsburgh would go a long ways. Let's be honest. Indianapolis, the same thing, because they're in the conference. Chargers, of course, and the Chiefs. I mean, those are huge games for us. We have to take care of business there. The 49ers are going to be a tough game. They're a very solid defense. I know McCaffrey's hurt, it looks like, again. But they can still run the ball. Garoppolo's a decent kind of game manager type guy. Not a world beater, in my opinion. Debo's very dynamic. So it's going to be hard. So we'd have to beat them and the Chiefs and probably the other teams to get in. I really don't see it at this point. I think we gave away too many games early on, especially with like Arizona. Let's see. And again, well, yeah, I see Sandy here. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that. Yeah, if you are watching this on a replay and you've been here this long, thank you very much. That's number one. Number two, why not subscribe and be here live with us? We can interact. I'm going to end the poll right now, and it's 100%. 100% people think that Josh Jacobs is going to be re-signed in the offseason. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe franchised. I guess that would technically count as re-signing, but otherwise, I'm not so sure about that. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming out. We're getting near the end of the hour. Thanks for coming out Monday. We're 4-7. Got a somewhat of a pulse. It looks like the team's starting to become a little bit more cohesive. I'm still questioning a lot of things on the coaching side. Patrick Graham as well. A lot of the issues still lingering with the corners and covering running backs out of the flat. Still not too good with that. The interior rush was a welcome surprise finally. 1.5 sacks there, getting pressure. I want to see more of that with the Chargers. Their offensive line's a little bit better in my opinion, of course. We'll see next week. And again, I will be on kind of a hiatus for about 2 weeks. Plan on coming back on the 16th of December. That Friday we'll do the game preview. So until then, I want to thank each and every one of you guys that comes out here. A lot of my regulars. Thank you. Without you, there is no Raider Champion Show. There is no channel. And I, like I said, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate each and every one of you. And until I get back into my undisclosed new location, as always, go Raiders.
Ask you something. With all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the years?
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.